You guys, I feel like I'm having stage fright. A little bit of stage fright. It's alright. It's gonna be good. Hopefully I'm talking loud enough. So we're gonna wait a few minutes for people to show up. I do have a question for my tech person over here.
Yes.
My question is for the tech lady. How do you see the chat box? I don't see any chat box.
I don't know.
We're just working on our.
It says there's one
things.
watching. I don't know if that's
One
me.
is watching.
I don't know if that's.
probably
You can
Emma.
see who's watching, and you can see the likes right there, and then click the comment. Show. So it will show when the messages come up. I think I can look at them too. So I'll
say
read them.
something.
Hey guys, I love.
No, not on here.
Oh.
Say. You gotta say.
But if you guys tell them to chat.
Okay, so all one of
There's
two.
a live
There's
chat.
two. All two of you can chat. You can comment below. I can't read my own writing, so that ought to be fun. We should be having a real good time
Tell me
with
you can
this.
see this, okay?
Let me prepare myself.
Did it pop up? I said, hey queen.
Hey, Queen, I do see it.
Good.
My daughter's committed.
So
She's
call
over in
me.
the side kind of helping me out because I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for her. Okay, so there's 4 people.
Oh my goodness.
You guys, I'm getting excited. There's 4 people. Yay. Okay, so tell me your name because I don't know what your name is. And I probably know most of the people that are going to 5. There's 5 people. I can't even talk.
Losing people, but that's because I'm on. I'm cutting off at the same time.
Okay, so this is crazy because I've never done it before.
Carmen's getting on. Sorry, I'll stop.
I'm very excited. So we're going to wait a few minutes for some people to show up, and then I will, what I plan on doing is kind of telling you a little background about my own story. And let me fix this a little bit. And then I'm going to kind of tell you what my channel's about and that sort of thing. Hi, Mark. It's my brother. That makes me feel good inside. Thanks. Okay. So, does that mean Anna's watching also? I hope she is. She's my little niece, and I love her. I love the whole family, of course, but she's wanting to be committed to the comm, so. Okay. How are you guys doing? How's everybody doing out there? I'm just going to wait. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes. I'm going to wait about 5 minutes, let's say, for everybody to get on here. And in the meantime, I'm going to drink my soda because that's what I do. I'm loving it. Oh, Mark's detained. I'm only going to guess about that situation. Hi, Anna. Hi, Crystal. Yes, Andy is on. He's so supportive. Andy, you are like my every Sunday morning hero. Keeps me in stitches and keeps me laughing. So that's really cool. I'm glad that like the people that are showing up, like I know who you are. I know that you're supportive, and that's really exciting. That makes me happy. So, okay. We have 1 more minute. What am I going to talk about for 1 minute? We're going to talk about how this is crooked a little bit. Hold on, I'm going to fix that little situation we're having here. And hopefully the whole thing doesn't come down. Ow! I'm just going to hold it like this the whole rest of the time. I made this, by the way. Check it out. Sing for you. Sing for you. Okay. Tell me what you want me to sing. For the 5 of you that are on here, if you don't know, I sing. Okay, I gotta make this little guy stay. Stay.
Do you want help?
I might need help from my
I don't wanna be in it.
assistant.
I look really
Here she is.
I look rough.
She does look rough.
Oh, thanks.
You said you looked rough. We
I
can't
know.
get it. We're having technical difficulties already. We're not even started yet. Technical difficulties. We're having technical difficulties.
Please stand by. Please stand
guest. Anna, what do you want me to sing? Oh, we've already made it to the 5-minute mark. Maybe I'll do a little sing for you at the end, a little ditty. Oh, I forgot too. Okay, first of all, I forget that I have to look over here and not at myself in the camera, which is really kind of hard to do. But I'm going to do it. Okay, so first of all, hi guys. Second of all, I'm going to tell you guys my little story about why I am even doing this channel. Some of you know my story about the fact that I have struggled with anxiety from my teenage years. I'd say like around 15 is when I really started to struggle with anxiety. And when I say struggle, I mean like life-changing. I was going along, life was fine, everything was, and then suddenly I just became overwhelmed and afraid. And from that point on, it became a, I don't know, like later on in my life, I was diagnosed with kind of like an obsessive compulsive thinking. So it was like scary thoughts. So I was afraid that something would happen. And, you know, they were irrational thoughts. And I knew deep down inside that the things that I was afraid of really weren't going to happen, but I couldn't get my mind to follow suit, and my body would I'd constantly have like an adrenaline dump, and it'd be really scary. And I will just say, when it started for me, my very first panic attack was, I was 15, I had a thought, it was a scary thought, which normally would be no big deal. I leaned up against my bed, I slid all the way down to the floor, and I thought the world was ending, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And so when it started for me, I had no idea I didn't know it was a panic attack. I didn't know what anxiety was. I didn't know any of that stuff. What I felt like was that I was kind of in this alone, and I didn't know what to do, and I just knew that I felt off. I felt different. I felt kind of weird, you know, and it was years later that I actually did discover that it was something that a lot of people deal with, and through my journey, I've learned a lot of tools and tips and things like that have helped me, and it has been a bumpy ride. Because anytime you deal with anxiety, stress, even stress, it doesn't have to be like something that's diagnosed by a doctor. Sometimes just stress itself can be overwhelming. And so the tools that I've learned to help me get through it, I know will be beneficial to different people. So it began at 15. I did not actually end up seeking any kind of medical help or anything until I was about 24, and that was around the time that like 9/11 happened, and for me it just sent me into this mental place that I couldn't deal with. I was afraid all the time, constantly, that something was going to happen to me personally. It was just a constant battle. And I hope you guys are hearing me okay. If you're not hearing me, or if something's wrong with the video, make sure you let me know. And then at about 29, I kind of hit this place where I was like, I cannot take this. I just started feeling very hopeless, very, you know, it's not like I'm not a hopeless type person. I'm actually pretty optimistic, but I felt like I was going to get stuck in this, you know, negativity, and stuck into these scary thoughts and these anxious thoughts. I just felt like I was going to be stuck in there forever. And so at that point, I started having physical symptoms and physical issues, and that lasted for about 18 months. And it was just the pressure that I was under. I didn't have any idea how to come out of it. Like, I just had no tools. My personal anxiety came from a few different sources. One, there was a traumatic event that happened to me when I was young. I almost died, and I'll tell you more about that later, but you know, that was something that happened at about 11 years old. And I also have heard that sometimes when traumatic things happen, you don't actually respond to it right away emotionally. So that could be part of the reason from 11 to 15, where at 15 I really started to deal with the actual anxiety. And then it runs in my family. That's something that is just kind of a part of different members, different sides, different, I've got cousins, I've got, different people within my family. And I think too, a lot of people deal with anxiety and stressors and those types of things, and they didn't talk about it before. And so it wasn't something that it just wasn't something that they talked about. And then for me personally, I had several life changes. For a lot of people, they can transition very easily, transition well, and that's great. For me, it was a little bit more difficult. So there were several little factors that came in that kind of, if I felt uneasy or unsure, it would kind of trigger that. My personal experience was marked by specific fear. I would just become obsessed with a certain fear. Let's say I had a fear that I was going to choke on something, and it would just be in my mind and I wouldn't be able to let it go. And it would just be like the kind of thing where I'd be sitting there doing something and all of a sudden this scary thought would just come into my mind. And I didn't know that I had the power to overcome that. I didn't know that I had the power to, tell myself more positive things and kind of work my way out of it, and also get it before it got bad. And then just generalized anxiety, just worried about this, worried about that. A lot of people experience that sort of thing. But what changed for me is about a year ago, I hit I don't know, I felt like I hit this place where I was like, I kind of forgot that I needed to plan out the rest of my life here. So I decided that I was going to live the rest of my life instead of being worried, because I spent so much of my time being worried about things and not actually living my life. And so I started getting determined, and I started looking for ways to manage my stress in positive ways. And there were several different things I did. There were things I did around my home. There were things that I did using all 5 of my senses. I looked for quiet, I'd just find a quiet place. I made kind of a safe place to go to when I was nervous. There were just a lot of different things that I would do to try to help myself get through this. And as I started learning things, I realized that knowledge really is power. The more you know about what you're dealing with, the better. So that's just a small amount about my little story. I want to tell you why this channel and why I chose the title Committed to Calm. First of all, if you were to ask me, someone who deals with anxiety on a pretty regular basis, but I'm able to manage it now, but if you were to ask me, what do you want more than anything in the world? If you could have anything that you want, my answer every time would be peace, because that's the thing that I struggled the most with in my life. But the silver lining around that is that I am learning to find peace daily, which is causing the anxiety, any stressors. It's causing them to stay at bay. And learning how to deal with that is helping me to help others. And for example, my daughter's friends, they'll come over and we'll talk and we'll laugh and we'll chat, and a lot of times they'll tell me things that they're worried about or whatever, and I'm able to kind of help them get through it. And it's because I've been there. And so I'm proud of that fact. I'm proud that I'm able to help my daughter who started experiencing some anxiety symptoms and signs. I was able to start helping her, and I've learned a lot. And I'm passionate about helping people who, especially those who may not know what's going on, who may be young and no one's telling them. You know, at 15 years old, I would have loved for somebody to tell me that, hey, you're not by yourself. You know, you are, you're okay. This is a normal thing. It happens to people. And here's what you do to get through it. And the sooner that you catch something like this, the quicker you'll be able to put these tools into, put them into use, and then you'll be able to deal better with anxiety or whatever. I don't know if I said this or not yet. Maybe I have, maybe I hadn't, I don't know. But committed. I called it committed because it is a commitment, and it's something that you have to be committed to in order for your life to change and your life to be better. So I want to tell you, I'm not sure who all took the survey, but several people did take the survey. And I looked at the results, and over 50% of the people who answered about stress said that they deal with stress on a daily basis. So you either deal with stress on a daily basis, somebody said 8 days, 8 days a week. Several said 24/7. So it is a real issue. Being stressed, being worn out, you know, being overwhelmed and not knowing how to get out of the overwhelm, being stuck, feeling stuck. There was 20% of the people who answered the survey that said 1 to 3 times a week. 14% said 3 or more, and 13% said certain circumstances put them in stress mode. My channel is not just going to be for people who have a panic disorder or deal with anxiety on a regular basis. It's more about getting out of stress. And I want you to be able to get out of stress. And I want you to be able to use tools that will help you manage your life in a more productive way so that you can put your time and energy to the things that you really love, the things that you really care about. I want you to be able to like look for the dreams that maybe you have pushed aside, or maybe you haven't even thought to dream. The thing is we have this whole big world out there. It's an amazing world if we just wake up. And I feel like so many people are kind of asleep and not realizing that there are so many possibilities out in the world, and there's so many things that we can do to make us happy that we're not doing because either we feel we don't have time, or we're just stressed, or we're overwhelmed, or whatever the case may be. Another thing is limited beliefs. I'm going to talk about that in one of the next few videos. Limiting beliefs, they will stop you dead. And the thing is, a lot of people who have limited beliefs don't even know that they have them, and they don't know that they're living with something that's not true. And if you've forgotten a dream, if you haven't even thought to start dreaming now. And it may seem like it's, you know, they're okay, well, I would like to be a millionaire, or I would like to do this or that. You know, I started narrowing mine down. I started thinking about what really lights me up, what really makes me happy, and nature is just one of those things. So I started to spend a lot of time out in nature, and it started livening me up, and I started feeling joy and happiness and those types of things. So you want to look at the things that light you up, the things that make you happy, and you want to start maybe incorporating some of that in your life. And then you also want to take a look at everything in your life, and you want to see what can you get rid of that isn't serving you. If it's not serving you, then start getting rid of those things so that you have more time for family, or, you know, activities that you love, things that are really going to bring joy, things that are really going to bring happiness to you. And don't let fear or expectations, because other people might have expectations of you, and you might feel, you know, well, I want to please other people. Just don't do that. Because, you know, people will come and go in your life, but you're stuck with you. And so the best thing for you to do is find what makes you happy. Find what you love to do, and the younger that you find it, the better. However, and I wanted to print this off, I tried. Emma tried to help me. We tried to get this printed off. But there are people who have found success at every age in life. Martha Stewart was one that I read, and she didn't actually become successful until age 41. I'm 40, by the way. And so that means I'm becoming successful really soon. No, I feel like I've been a success in my life. It's just finding the things that really make me happy. And the other thing about finding things like dreaming and starting to look into your life and finding the things that really light you up, you start looking forward to every day, and you start looking forward to the things that you're excited about, and write things down as they come. Sometimes, the things that light you up might not come right away. As they come, write them down on a piece of paper. And what's going to happen is, if you focus on the things on that piece of paper, you are going to start seeing things in the environment around you, signs everywhere. For example, and I'll tell more about my story later, but what I finally realized, I love nature. I want to be a part of nature. I always make a joke. If anybody knows the SNL, it's an SNL skit that has Chris Farley in it, and he talks about living in a van down by the river. And I always laugh and say, that's what I want to do. I want to live in a van down by the river. There are so many people who are living in Sprinter vans and traveling all over the United States. And that just lights me up. That makes me excited. I want to do it. I want to be out there, and it's not like a woohoo, crazy kind of thing. I really want to get in a van and drive around. So I always make a joke, say, I want to live in a van down by the river. That's my goal. That's my dream. What's yours? I think that as far as stress is concerned, especially with so many people dealing with stress, it's important to realize that if you're not conscious of the stress that you're in, or you may be conscious of the stress, but you're not conscious that you don't have to be in that stress, that you actually have everything within you that you need to get out of it. You just have to learn what tools that you have inside of you and what tools that you can use to get yourself, out of the stressful states. But you have to be conscious about it, and you have to think about it, and you have to put your mind on it, and it takes a commitment to do that, because there's an illusion that I think has been happening for thousands of years, and that illusion is that we're supposed to just be stressed. And while there are things that bring stressors, I think a lot of what we do is bring stressors on ourselves. And we think that, if I'm stressed, that means that I'm successful at something because I'm doing so much and I'm so stressed out. And, but really, we're meant to be living more consciously, and we're meant to be living more peacefully in our hearts and in our minds. And we are meant to get out of the illusion. Let me just say that. If you are low on energy, if you've spent all your energy and you feel stressed out and you feel like you're in this rut and you can't get out, a lot of times it's because you've put your energy in so many things that you don't have anything left to give. And it's really difficult to be helpful to, let's say, your family. There were some people who said in the survey that they get stressed out with their kids sometimes. They get stressed out trying to balance things, trying to do projects that those kind of things stress them out. And a lot of it is people trying to deal with these things with a low amount of energy. And so it's just so important to start cutting things out that no longer serve you. Sorry if I'm being repetitive here. And then I just want to say that a lot of times we start out with the fear. We start out with the limiting beliefs, which I'll talk more about that later. We start out with expectations that others have for us that really we didn't bring on ourselves, but we somehow, want to please other people, and we're not thinking about, what's best for me. And so we start down that path, and then we start losing ourselves in the doing. So we're doing this, we're doing that, we're trying to fulfill all these promises that we've made. We're trying to, have meetings. We're trying to keep up with our friends. We're trying to, you know, get dinner out there. We're trying to get all kinds of things done. We're trying to get our schoolwork done. We're trying to get all these things done, and in the midst of it all, we're not finding any peace, any time for ourselves. And what all this does is this takes you from your very need, the very core of what you need, which is being connected to yourself. So there's going to be a lot of talk about being connected to yourself. And then the last thing I want to say is just that in our lives, we really do evolve. We evolve from, you know, from childhood, from having all these amazing expectations. Then we start realizing life's a little bit more difficult than we thought it was going to be. And we are constantly evolving and moving. But I believe that as we grow older, as we move into our, you know, the places that we're supposed to be in our lives, we will evolve to be peaceful in our hearts if we work at it. And we will be able to be calm. And like I said, it takes a commitment. It looks like to me that this video is lagging a little bit. I'm sorry about that. But I just want to say thank you guys for coming. Thank you for showing up. And this channel is all about having a tribe of people who, you know, deal with stress, deal with things, but, you know, we're going to enjoy ourselves and have a good time learning methods. And also, I'm going to be posting videos every Tuesday. I also want to be a little lighthearted. I know this was more of kind of a serious video. I want to be lighthearted too. So there may be occasional videos that are thrown in there that are more lighthearted, fun, laughing, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, going live was just a little nerve-wracking, but I appreciate you guys showing up. I appreciate you guys coming, and I look forward to the next time that we get to be together. And
Anna wanted to hear you sing.
oh, Anna wanted me to sing. Are you still there, Anna? If you are, tell me what you want me to sing, and I will sing to you, honey. Anna is my little niece, and she is precious. I love her. She calls me Aunt Princess because I am a princess. I mean, okay, I don't see anything. You can always call me. I'll sing to you over the phone if you're having trouble coming up with something. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh wait, here we go. Sing something Thanksgiving.
Like from Thanksgiving.
From Thanksgiving. What did we sing at Thanksgiving?
I don't even know.
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember what we sang at Thanksgiving. I have no idea. What's that one song by? Oh, the one that I was singing like all the time. Uncle Rick with it. Or he didn't come up with it. It was a Lionel Richie song.
Oh.
Do you remember it?
The one that you always keep playing in the car.
So my brother started singing this song at Thanksgiving. Our family gets together at Thanksgiving time. My brother started singing this song, and like it got stuck in my head.
Goodness, what is it?
I don't know. He's telling her. Okay, Lionel Richie singing. It's a song about.
Something about lightning or something.
No, it was something about moving on down the road. Oh my goodness.
It's gonna drive
He was
me
talking
insane.
about how much fun he was gonna have.
Hang on, I'm gonna.
He was talking about. He was talking about. He was gonna have a good time. Good time, yeah.
Never felt so good.
How did it start though?
I know,
good time, yeah.
Hang on.
Oh no, now I have a Harry Connick Jr. song stuck in my head, so I can't remember how it goes. Uh-oh, here comes my husband. He's probably like, get off there. It's gonna be a good
I found it. I found it.
time. Good time,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
No, I need you.
Mom.
My husband's needing my daughter, but I need my daughter
I
right
need to
now.
shut the door.
What is it?
I'm finding it. What is it? Sing along.
Oh, say along. How does it start though in the beginning?
Hang on. I'll just play the song for you.
She's gonna play it. I'm gonna sing it. Okay. Boy, we're staying extra time here for this special singing moment. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing it. What is he Shut the door. We're...
What?
He's trying to say something. We have another person who's trying to come into the room and tell us names, and we don't really know what those things are. So, if I can just hear the very beginning of it, I will know. I'm spending way too much time on this, you guys. I'm sorry.
Just what my phone gets.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got it.
Oh, you got it? You got it? Okay.
I think. I may not be able to remember it all. Okay, you got to stop it because it's got to be a different key. Watch me totally forget it. Okay, it starts out. Sail on down the road about half a mile or so, and I don't really want to know where you're going. It's too low. Maybe once or twice. I lost it. How about this part? It goes, we'll sail on, honey. Good times never felt so good. Whoa, sail on. You should see my daughter. Sugar. Good times never felt so good. That's all I can remember. Thank you, dear darling. That's all I got. That's all I got for you, sweetie. All right, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for being a part, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. And I also don't know how to stop this, so my helper's got here and stop it for me. There's her hair.
No idea.
Oh, she has no idea.